Good evening, Coach Jack Daniels of the Boxers Trainers Channel, and we are live. It's been a day or two since I've uh, been on the air. Had a few things that I had to take care of that dragged me away from what I love doing so much, and that is discussing and trying to rehabilitate all the negativity that is going on in boxing. Right? It's a job, but I am elected to figure it out one way or the other. So tonight we have a conversation about Sebastian Fundora, right? Sebastian Fundora is a junior middleweight champion of the world, right? After a horrific win over Tim Tszyu, I want to say a week ago, right? There has been a lot of boxers coming out the closet saying that they want to now fight uh, Sebastian, excuse me, Sebastian Fundora. Right now, at first, it was said before the bout with Tim Tszyu that they had initiated a recall, a refight clause. Right. So that being said, we shouldn't be having this conversation about who is Sebastian Fundora fighting next because per se, excuse me, per the clause, the refight clause in the contract, right? We shouldn't be having this conversation about who he's fighting next because that is considered as mandatory per se, or at least that's what I was of the opinion of. But what do I know? What do I know? Even though the WBO, the World Boxing Organization, came out recently and stated that they are ordering Fundora to fight Terrence Bud Crawford. Okay, but what happened to the clause, the rematch clause? What happened to? How did we get past the rematch clause to fighting Terrence Bud Crawford? Right, even though Sebastian Fundora do want to fight the best. He said he wants to fight the best. Whoever's the best in the seat, that's what he wants to fight, right? I get it. I hopefully everybody gets it. But the fact remains the same. There is a rematch clause in the last fight that Sebastian Fundora participated in with Tim Tszyu. Tim Tszyu is supposedly the person who should be fighting Sebastian Fundora, but I don't know whether he is or he isn't because there's a lot of stuff going on in the boxing scheme of things when it comes to Sebastian Fundora and his management team. His management team is allegedly saying that Fundora won't be ready to fight until November because of a hand injury or a injury, right? And I find that to be absolutely appalling that it's going to take November? What's that? 8 months for recovery time? I mean, they sure 7 months for recovery time, right? I mean, it could be possible, but I'm just saying that's a lengthy time for a man of 25 years of age that is healthy and that normally the recovery time for a person to have an injury of that sort, right, it shouldn't take over a month or two. I'm saying that as a result of my injury. I have a finger injuries that kept me out of the gym for like 2 months, right? But I rehabilitated myself in 2 months. You know what I mean? So the notion that it's going to take Sebastian Fundora 7 months to recover, that's absurd in my opinion. Right. It just goes to say that a lot of moving parts are going on in the Fundora camp that leads me to believe that there might be at place some corruption. Right. That is a major issue in the boxing scheme of things as it exists today, right? There's just too many things happening going on outside of boxing that put, puts me in a position where I believe that unlawful things are transported in order to get things done that normally wouldn't have gotten done had promoters, managers don't solicit to uh, corruption. I mean, I don't really want to find a nicer word because that's what we deal with when we're dealing with boxing. Now, we've had this conversation on several occasions where it is my opinion that as participants in the sport of boxing, right? Whether it's or whether it is doing what I do, journalism, or whether it's doing what you do as a person that, or as a people that love the sport, right? There has to be uh, some of us have gotten to the point where we feel like we need to somehow change the direction of the way boxing is going because just too many foul things that are happening that are displeasing. Say, for instance, totally unrelated, but it's relative in the sense that it shows the face of corruption. So old Canelo Alvarez has been David Benavidez mandatory for 5 years. For 5 years, the WBC has stood by and let Saul Canelo Alvarez get away with not fighting its mandatory for 5 years. Now, I did take the liberty to read the WBC version on what constitutes mandatory, and this is not what constitutes a mandatory so far as it is written in the rules that the WBC has put out as a rule, right? So my whole point in this conversation is this: are we, the people, the fans, the journalists, people that are dissatisfied with the scheme of boxing, what are we going to do about the corruption? We know it's corruption in it because this is not the first time I've cited. I've had multiple issues that have been left in the comments section in regards to what people feel about corruption. Right? This has gotten too far. Now, I take the liberty of saying that I was going to look up the rules and regulations in regards to WBC and its policy on mandatories, right? And it's just unbelievable to me that after reading the yays and nays and the yes and no's when it comes to the mandatory, that I'm speaking primarily as it pertains to the WBC because that's the rule that I concern myself with when going through the formality of trying to figure out why these things are happening, right? And I was very much so enlightened to the point where I'm just totally dissatisfied with especially the WBC because they're not doing their job. My point is that I think that we need to come together, and I often tell you guys that I'm not going to be able to get on the mic and keep saying the same thing over and over. If you like being the butt of the joke, being constantly put in a position where that the boxing elite or walking on your on the back of your head, that's fine with me. But I don't like the feeling, right? Shot in the house, Ghost 123. What's up, brother? Salute to you. I don't like the feeling, right? I mean, it's just an uncomfortable feeling for a person with a moral apparatus to know that you're being dogged out, right, and not be able to do anything about it, or sit back and not say anything. I'm not that type, right? So I'm going to get back to Fundora, and I'm going to leave it at Fundora. But the fact of the matter is boxing is corrupt. Fundora's issue is, in my opinion, a shows signs of corruptness also. Because Fundora is saying one thing, and Fundora's team, his promoter, is saying another. So I would like to know, who is Fundora fighting next? With that, hit the subscription button. Drop a comment in the comment section and tell me what you think about corruption. And share my videos with your friends and relatives. With that, I'll see you tomorrow.